learn what I want to, but these players want to win, and to win, you need the best information or the best knowledge possible, and that's what Harrier does.
Sure. According to Mada himself, he feels very comfortable in Russia guessing. We'll see if he gets any of the big country rounds. As we see the stats here, Harrier, 57% win rate, pretty solid so far. Takes a bit longer on average with his guesses, but I feel like that stat is kind of skewed because we saw a 30-second average on Zigzag as well. But today, at least, he was out there guessing very fast a lot of times. And Mada, same thing, a bit quicker on the guesses on average, but we'll see how quickly he opts to play.
Yeah, and I will be definitely taking a very close look on the moving game, because I think Harrier definitely has the advantage just because he learned so many countries, like phone codes he learned for small countries in Europe like Poland, so, and even every single Landkreis in Germany, which is like 350, so definitely respect to him there, putting up that kind of dedication. And as you can see, so far it pays off.
It's up there. He is definitely up there. Just 2 matches between him. And Harrier sat with 22 points thus far, just behind Moo. It's going to be a close one, I feel like, though. Even if, I mean, he's sat further ahead in the leaderboard, like we've seen from Mada in the past. And now we'll see what's going to happen here as we get straight on into game number 1.
And I wonder if
Wait a minute.
Denmark.
Wait a minute. I was just going to say, this is Denmark.
Right, Toby, where is it?
Oh no,
Where's
I
the
hate
5K?
this. I hate this. We're finally getting Denmark, but it's not. You know what? This might be Fanø. Okay, this is a mega hunch. West side of Jutland, Fanø. This would be wild if that's the case. I don't know if that's the case or not, but if it is, then it's kind of fun. Fuglekøj. I don't even know what that means.
Well, you don't have to ask me in this.
How do I get Denmark and then not know where we are? That's horrible. This is the one thing I'm supposed to be good at. This is the one thing I can do. We'll see if I get it. Harrier, at least they got the country right. We'll see if they both do. They both do, in fact, find Denmark, but where exactly are we? Could be northwest coast of Jutland as well. That would make sense. And it is. You know what? I had it right. It is Fanø. Wow. Toby 5K'd that one, guys. Just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, it looked very close to something I've been to. I've been to Rømø.
Yeah, it's just north of it.
It kind of looked very, very, very similar, but it wasn't the exact same.
I actually
so very
got
nice
that
guess
one.
by you.
I've driven down that road before, but it has been a long time. As we now head into round 2. Enough about me, enough about Denmark, unless if we go there again.
Yeah, this is definitely not Denmark. We just saw an octagonal pole, so we definitely will be in Mexico. Definitely looks a bit southern. Just because we have a stone wall, you don't really get that too far north. Although Harrier is kind of, you know, saying, Ziggy, you don't know what you're talking about. This is definitely western. So maybe he's using the brick buildings here, because red brick is very common in Jalisco, or in general in the western states of Mexico.
Probably more points to be garnered between the two. Here as we go to a arguably bigger country where more points are on the line. No one is gonna just send it straight into Mexico City, but Harry is not too far off. Mada's still yet to put down his mark, and now he does, and they're very close to one another.
It is west, as I said, those red brick buildings, very common in Jalisco, and I think it ended up being exactly in that state. But, you know, pretty hard to guess, because usually Jalisco you see those, you know, blue agave plantations, which are very famous. Didn't see that there.
Well, let's see Mada. What does he see here? Anything he likes?
Well, they both probably know the country by now. It is probably Spain with these bollards. We have these plantations, which are very common in the southern part. But now we find a marker. And as we know, those are very regional. I don't know what that said, but maybe Harrier can make use of that. Mada yet to find one. But now he's getting to the same one. So they definitely have the same information now.
Yep. Quicker to open the map.
HU could stand for Huelva, and that is where...
Oh.
Or Huesca. Oh, I think Mada has found it.
5-second readjustments. No one's lining up roads here, so not fully comfortable with where they are, but quite a bit of distance in between them, and it's going to be Harrier on point.
Yeah, those city knowledge paying off both of them finding a town starting with HU, but it was Huelva and not Huesca. So good for Harrier here, already taking a big amount of points here. And you talked about Mada region guessing Russia, and we are in Russia, but we have a sign which makes it a bit boring. We have Kazan being 200 kilometers away to the west. So we'll definitely see very close guesses here.
Could have been bigger. Could have been better.
Yeah.
We'll see what we're going to get with it.
Let's see if we can get a 5K going here. I think it is rather hard to 5K just because we're so far away from it and you have to really judge the distance accurately. And then you have a very small town in the other direction. We are between Kazan and Ufa and it seems like Mada has found a town, doesn't line up the 5K. Sad for us. We will not see the animation probably. But it doesn't matter for him.
Let's see. First login come through. Second one immediately now to follow Harrier. Still lingering on the eastern side of the city. And he's going to be, a bit further off, but almost. Oh, Mada almost had it perfectly lined up there.
As I said, he found the town name that was just 1 kilometer away and was like, yep, I'm just going to click that before Harrier finds anything better.
Makes sense.
The lineup for the 5K is not really worth it in the format as it stands right now. So that's why the players opt to, just throw a guess down where they're going to be very close, but not, on the exact intersection.
Makes sense. From paved road to dirt road we go with yet another tricky round potentially here.
Yeah, we are back in Russia. We are not leaving country, it seems.
Mada does.
This time, though.
Has said that he likes Russia guessing. We'll see if he gets the upper hand here.
Yeah, and Harrier might have found an address here, but doesn't make a guess instantly, so maybe not readable.
He's locked in.
I like Mada's guess, though. Looks southern.
Harrier up then to go further towards the north. We'll see if any last-second adjustments. No, not quite to be. And it's actually going to be him closer this time around, Mada. Off by 400 kilometers to the second guess. And, big damage coming through. Sat just above 1,000 now.
And now Mada cannot afford another mistake like that again. Which, makes it hard to insta-send on the coming rounds. Just because if the other person finds information in those 15 seconds you get after the opponent guesses, that could be enough to, take those 1K points away. But he finds the label of the power company in Japan, which people have learned as well. And he knows it's Kyushu.
Locked in. Harrier is going to join him in the same area as well. So no big points should imagine come through. No, as a matter of fact, both of them very close. 18 kilometers exactly. A solid 7 damage done to Harrier. I like to say that, you know what, it might not be much, but the momentum and this and that, I feel like in this case it didn't really matter at all. Just prolonging.
The mental hasn't really changed for either player here. As we get another road marker in Spain. Let's see who knows it this time. BA could stand for Badajoz. I don't know if that's the right way to pronounce it. But seems like both of them know instantly. And guess down.
At least within the vicinity, but now an extra couple of seconds for Harrier. Could be all that's needed to line it up properly. Well, we found 1,000 damage here with 4 times multiplier. Could potentially be. It's going to go a bit further towards the southwest, but it's not really going to matter. They're both off by approximately the same distance. And 200-point hit onto Harrier is effectively, it's not really the damage to Harrier that matters right now. It's more just for Mada to be able to stay in the game.
Yeah, and he really has to, hope that it will be just, very hard rounds on the table still that make a comeback possible.
Need something big.
Yeah, this is South Africa. Decently big, especially in bigger cities. It's not that easy to tell where you are.
Mada has said in tournaments past that South Africa was one of his weaker countries. Now, he could have spent time, of course, getting better at South Africa since then, but would be horrible to lose out now on a round in a country where you're just not comfortable here. 4.5 times multiplier, round 8, and you only have 1,000 health left.
Oh, we're definitely going to be somewhere in the northern part just because there was a phone code earlier for Mada, and I think Harrier has spotted one as well. Started with 01, which puts you somewhere around Pretoria, but I'm not sure where exactly.
Both going towards Johannesburg. And now a bit further towards
Mada's lining up a road. He has found something.
That would be incredible. We'll see. He's gonna up to zoom out. Gonna wait this one out. Will he get it? Oh, almost the 5k here once again, but huge damage this time around done towards Harrier. And now we're at a point where with 2 rounds left to play, if you want to win this in your Mada and you're not going to get big cities, these are the type of damage you need to hit in order to win on the points with just 2 rounds left.
And he keeps getting countries where information is definitely findable. I think we're now in the Philippines, and I think Harrier has spotted the province name because he's zooming instantly in. Both of them are in the northern part. And it seems like Harrier is 5k'ing this.
I liked it. I like it a lot, and he's gonna get it to, and that should potentially... Yeah, no, it's not. It's just exactly not game. 22, Mada. You need a massive country in order to turn this one around now.
And he only has this round left, and it is Czechia or Slovakia. And will he make an insta-guess?
You have to.
And he has to be risky here as well, and he's just throwing the gas down.
15 seconds. Harrier needs to really make a big mistake here in order for Mada to catch up 3,300 some points.
There's a big difference
of him. There is a massive difference. Separate countries on each side of it as well, but it's gonna be Harrier close. It's gonna be Harrier out with the win here in game number 1, win all the way to round 10.
Yeah, those moving games get closer and closer the more people learn about countries and how to use information in those. And I think we will see more and more games going to those, these final rounds, these round 10. And, it's always hype to see that 5.5x multiplier.
Oh, yeah.
I have to say.
Lots of damage. Lots of damage. Just one board over, and it was over 4,000 damage done to Mada in that instance. As we now hop on in to our no-move round with Harrier up 1-0.
We have some very Thai-looking buildings here, I would say, especially with the concrete slab pavement, which you usually see in Thailand or Philippines. But with these type of buildings, you should be somewhere in Thailand. I don't want to say where because I'm very confused. We have corn, which is very common in the north, so Harrier's guess is definitely valid here. We will see where Mada opts out to guess.
Towards the north is where Harrier is going. Mada set a bit further down on the southern side, but it is all the way up there. Harrier once again on point, playing very, very well right now.
That is a very good guess, I can definitely tell you. Use everything there, use the mountains, use probably the crops being corn, which is also very helpful to indicate somewhat the region. But for this one, they were probably just both guess middle.
Well, you say that, but it's very on the southeast border. They were both down there, but it's actually further up towards northwestern side, and a little bit of a strike back, a little laugh emote there from Harrier as he knew they were both down there. Saw the same thing, but neither of them were correct.
Yeah, usually the area close to Vietnam is very dry, and that's what they both saw, and they were like, okay, you know what? Let's just guess there.
Yeah.
But you can't afford a mistake like this in a country like this. You can't get the wrong end. We are in Russia. We have the antenna bent to the left, which usually means you're going to be in the western part somewhere. You can kind of, learn it by, if it tilts left, you are left. You're left in the country. I don't know.
Makes sense. We'll see here who's going to be on point. They're both in and around the same area, but is once again closer towards Harrier, up in the western side of St. Petersburg. 700 damage down towards Mada, and I mean, if you're a Mada right now, of course, still plenty of health left to work with, but starting to get a little dicey here. Harrier's potentially starting to run away with it.
I think the difference is still small enough that Mada is not worrying too much about hitting the last round this time, just because there can still be very big countries on the line. Although Panama is probably not the biggest country we look at right now.
Car Meta to work with, Paul Meta to work with, everything. Screaming Panama. Seems like they're both in agreement in the area of the country as well. And almost identical distance in between them, just 7 kilometers. That's going to be 55 damage done. Mada with a win, but a small one at that.
Yeah. Even though, moving, you don't have those informations available. Sometimes, it makes your guesses even more similar because you literally have the same type of information to work with. And speaking of information, this does not look like a lot of information.
It does not. A bending road. No bullets. Was there one at the distance there? I can't quite make it out. There is. Maybe it's just a wooden stick.
Is some kind of thing next to the road. I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, very tough to tell. Maybe they have a bollard that they can see, but we have a Croatia, I guess, and a Czechia, I guess, so far, so...
I mean, this... exactly where Harrier is now, won him the previous game in round 10, so maybe that's just where he's going back to. We'll see if he's going to win with it. Croatia locked in on the side of Mada. 5 seconds left to work with for Harrier. Is he going to change? Oh, went over to France for a second. Ups to go back now. Is it going to be France? Should he have gone over there? No, it is down towards Mada in Croatia.
That is a massive hit. They're almost taking the entire game. If Harrier stayed in France, that would have been the game for Mada. So at least he switched back to Eastern Europe there.
Last second. Always gets me terrified when they do these last second flicks. I remember seeing one with Mada in the MEA regionals last year where he went from, I don't even know where it was in like Spain, just full speed sent it to Turkey in the very last half second and ended up winning because of it. So sometimes it can work out for you, but there's definitely also a big chance it can cost you a game.
Yeah, I remember that exact switch up in the very last second by Mada. Definitely very memorable just because of how close he got.
Mm-hmm. Pretty darn hype. Botswana guessing for Harrier. Can you pinpoint the exact location here? Still a bit further southwest of where Mada is lined up. Mada's going to be closer. Harrier, I think it was up there initially, but then opted to go further southwest, and that's going to be game. Down he goes. 2 bad guesses in a row. Chunks his entire health bar to 0, and we are moving into NMPC.
That's exactly what I was referring to. I think Mada wasn't really under pressure there.
Yeah.
His health was still high enough, and as we can see, 2 guesses is all you really need. You know, 1 toss-up in Europe, and then a good region guess in Botswana, and we're moving into NMPC.
NMPC is where we're headed. Interesting days are bound, as Mada, with the football on his head, gets himself ready to stare at one still image and see if he can get this one locked in. Not Denmark.
Not
That's
Denmark.
my guess.
Both of them, I mean, there's a bollard they probably see better than we do, but we are going to be in Australia. We have the short antenna, which you get in Gen 4, actually. In Australia, it's usually found in, I think, Victoria to Queensland. I think there's nothing really in the western part of the country, so you can definitely exclude that one.
Mada locked in, both locked in, a bit both on the southern side, but close enough to one another that minimal damage will come through. 18 at that. And this was the warm-up round. The casual Australia round 1 round. We just want to stack up those multipliers. Not that we really need them in NPC, I feel like, but here we go. Straight into round 2. Oh, I thought we were going to see an insta-guess from Mada, but not quite the case. He locked it, like he zoomed in so quickly.
That would have been a very risky insta-guess because he is in Assam, which is as far away as the rest of India gets, you know. There's nothing really close to Assam that can be correct. So you are either on point or you're...
Oh.
There's no way Harrier is sending Nicobar Islands here.
Is he baiting? Is he memeing? Is that what's happening?
There is coverage there now, but wow, I mean, if he does that, that would be crazy.
20 seconds, he's still... Oh, now he's zooming out again. Oh, come on, do it. Do it for the clip, Harry. If you're right, you know everyone's going to talk about it for the rest of the year.
It just doesn't seem right, you know. We have like...
Then don't do it.
No, I like Assam more than the islands. And whoa, we have...
They're very
Mada
far
switches
apart.
gas completely. Mada is completely different now. We are so far away. It's like 3,000 kilometers different.
The last second readjustment from Mada further down towards the south side is going to win him that one. 4,000 damage hit onto Harrier. That is massive. And Mada was actually up there initially, but then they swapped.
Yeah, he was like, you know, this doesn't look quite right for where I want to guess.
Wow.
And now we get into a pretty standard Botswana round, I would say. Both of them getting that instantly. You know, just the vegetation here. You know, for the average viewer, this might not look like a lot, but for these players, it's way more than enough. I think they might even get a good region guess in here.
A tree, a bush, and a dirt road. It's way more than enough. They know the exact area. It's amazing. I mean, it brings a smile on my face seeing these players when they're fully locked in and just surprising the world with their knowledge. And here they go once again, a bit off on the side. And again, a hit that Harrier can't quite afford. Mada flawless in this NPC so far.
Yeah, now Harrier, you know, everything is still possible. I think at NPC you can't really give up hope. But if you get smaller countries, we are not very happy to see them. You get Uruguay here with the hazy camera quality and these, you know, tree plantations. And for Harrier, it's just like, okay, this round is just like, okay, I can lose, but I can't win. So...
yeah. Want to chop off some of the health of Mada. Unfortunately for him, it's not going to happen. Yet again, Mada is just playing closer. Closing down on the health. 740 left to work with for Harrier. It's... unless if we get tiny country now, I feel like this could potentially be game.
This is definitely not a small country. We are India again, and this might be, you know, mentally this is not very nice to have if you just lost like all your health on an India round and you get one instantly after.
True.
And you get one of the most non-distinct looking India rounds I've ever seen. I don't even know whether this is north or south. This is for them to find out.
Well, it's dangerous. With a 3 times multiply, Harrier could also just, I mean, they both win, but also just claw back a ton of health. He's going to be the first one to log in. Fingers crossed on the side of Harrier, feeling potentially comfortable here. No second guessing this time around. Nope, he's off again. 100 kilometers. Could it be enough? Yes, it could. And it's going to be Mada to turn this one around and come out victorious 2-1.
And that was a very impressive NPC guess. I mean, Harrier was not very far off. 200 kilometers is a